inner circle of the sonic void. I am Cassian Vex. The sun is burning deep in the house of the Ram, and for the musicians of the world, the stars are demanding a total lack of restraint. If you aren't playing until your fingers bleed this week, are you even listening to the universe? Aries, your ruling planet Mars is currently stage diving into your house of unsolicited soloing. This week, your patience for song structure and vocal melodies is non-existent. You will feel a divine celestial mandate to extend every guitar solo by at least 4 minutes, regardless of whether the audience or your band is still in the room. Your fire energy is so potent right now that you could probably power a small PA system just by standing near it. In the rehearsal room, the stars warn of a power struggle. You will find yourself looking at the drummer and thinking, I could probably do that better, while simultaneously trying to rewrite the lyrics on the lead singer's iPad. Curb the ego, or you'll be playing a solo set to a crowd of 0 by Friday. Helpful collaborators this week. Leo, the only other sign with an ego large enough to survive your current aura. Together you won't just play a gag. Aves, you will stage a dual frontman hostile takeover of the local dive bar. It will be loud, expensive, and absolutely legendary. Avoid collaborating with Pisces. They want to rehearse in a candlelit room and talk about their intentions. Your current vibration is a chainsaw, and their vibration is a wind chime. If you try to jam together this week, you will accidentally shatter their emotional equilibrium before the first chorus. The warning: beware of the master volume. A sound engineer with a waning moon in their chart will tell you that you're bleeding into the vocal mics. The stars warn that this is a test of your resolve. Do not turn down. If you cannot hear the ringing in your ears, the universe cannot hear your soul. Your lucky number, 100. The exact percentage of the monitors you want your own instrument to be in. Taurus, your ruling planet Venus is currently locked in a stalemate in your house of gear hoarding. This week, the universe is testing your legendary patience. You will be asked to streamline your rig for a small club gig, and your earthly soul will scream in defiance. The stars suggest that no, you cannot bring your full stack and your 3 backup basses to a venue that barely fits the drum kit. But will you listen? Of course not. You'll spend Tuesday night measuring the van with a level of precision that would make a NASA scientist weep. In the rehearsal space, your stubbornness is your shield. A bandmate will suggest spicing up your bass line with some slap or a fun little fill. Your transit through the house of the root note warns that this is a trap. Stay the course. Hold the low E. Your refusal to move more than 2 inches during a 45-minute set is not laziness. It is a spiritual commitment to the frequency. Helpful collaborators. This week, Virgo, the spreadsheet specialist. They are the only ones who will help you lift your 80-pound vintage amp without complaining, provided you let them label all your patch cables first. Together, you are an immovable fortress of mid-range clarity. Avoid collaborating with Gemini, the dual-channel chaos. They will try to tell you 3 different stories while you are trying to tune your B string. Their airy, fast-talking energy will make your internal earth Gemini. Gemini, your ruling planet Mercury is currently overclocking your house of unfinished demos. This week, your creative brain is a browser with 40 tabs open, and 12 of them are playing different royalty-free loop samples at the same time. You will feel a sudden, divine inspiration to scrap your entire pedalboard layout 10 minutes before a sound check because you heard a new frequency in a dream. Your bandmates will look at you with fear in their eyes. Ignore them. They are mono-track thinkers in a stereo-panned world. In the digital realm, your group chat activity is approaching critical mass. You will send 15 voice memos of you humming melody ideas to the band, only to delete them all 5 minutes later and claim you've evolved past that phase. The stars suggest that while your output is legendary, your completion rate is currently sitting at approximately 0. Try to finish one song, just one, before the moon shifts, or you'll end up with a hard drive full of 8-bar loops and a very confused booking agent. Helpful collaborators. This week, Aquarius, the synth scientist. They are the only ones who won't get a headache when you explain your plan to run your vocals through a circuit-bent speak and spell. Together, you will create a sound that is technically music, but legally a noise complaint. Avoid collaborating with Scorpio, the intense brooder. They want to talk about the pain behind the lyrics, while you want to talk about the cool delay setting on the bridge. Your airy, fast-talking energy will make them want to retreat into their dark basement forever. Do not poke the Scorpion this week. The warning: beware of the free software trial. You will be tempted to download a new revolutionary AI mastering plugin that promises to fix your mix. The stars warn that you will spend 4 days tweaking parameters you don't understand, only to realize you've accidentally bit-crushed your entire career. Stick to the basics, if you can remember what they are. Your lucky number, 2. The number of times you will change your stage name this week. Cancer. Cancer, the moon is currently transiting your house of nostalgic feedback. This week, your sensitivity is turned up to 11, and your protective shell is basically just a vintage oversized hoodie you've been wearing for 4 days straight. You will feel a divine lunar urge to write a 6-minute acoustic ballad about a dog you saw once in 2016. Your bandmates will want to rock out, but you will insist that the world needs to hear your vulnerability. Do not apologize for your soul, even if the drummer is visibly checking his watch. In the rehearsal room, your nurturing energy is peaking. You are the only person who remembered to bring a spare 9-volt battery and a bag of grapes for the band. However, the stars warn that your lunar moodiness is a ticking time bomb. If the lead guitarist suggests that your song has too many minor chords, you will retreat into a silent, icy shell that even a diamond-tipped drill couldn't crack. Helpful collaborators. This week, Pisces, the reverb twin. They won't ask you to dry up the signal or pick up the tempo. Together, you will sit in a dark room and play 3 notes over 4 hours, convinced you've captured the very essence of the ocean. It's the sonic hug you deserve. Avoid collaborating with Sagittarius, the blunt archer. They will tell you with zero filter that your new lyrics are a bit much, and that maybe we should play something people can actually dance to. Their fire energy will evaporate your watery soul instantly. Keep your demos away from them this week. The warning: beware of the constructive criticism. A well-meaning friend will tell you that they liked the first version better. To you, this is not a musical opinion. warn that if you don't take a deep breath, you'll spend the next 3 days deleting your entire SoundCloud out of spite. Your lucky number, 6/8, the only time signature that truly understands your internal rhythm. Leo, the sun is currently transiting your house of center stage dominance, and because it's Aries season, your charisma is currently bordering on a public safety hazard. This week, you will feel a cosmic pull to spend $600 on a custom faux leopard print microphone stand instead of fixing the broken input jack on your actual instrument. Do it. The audience doesn't hear the crackle, they only see the shine. You aren't just performing this week, you are manifesting a stadium tour in a venue that holds 40 people and smells like damp carpet. In the rehearsal room, your aura is heavy. You will spend 45 minutes explaining your vision for the band's new merch line, which naturally features your face prominently, only to realize you haven't actually practiced the bridge of the single once. Your bandmates may look annoyed, but deep down, they know they are merely planets orbiting your massive golden gravity. Helpful collaborators. This week, Libra, the style consultant. They are the only sign that understands that the set list order is less important than making sure the drummer's shirt doesn't clash with your backdrop. Together, you will be the best looking band at the empty open mic night. Avoid collaborating with Capricorn, the budget-minded manager. They will try to talk to you about gas money and profit margins while you are trying to order 5,000 custom-shaped guitar picks with your own eyes printed on them. Their heavy, realistic energy is a direct threat to your manifest destiny. The warning, beware of the shared backline. A promoter will try to tell you that you have to use the house app to save time between sets. This is a direct assault on your sonic brand. The stars warn that playing through a generic black box with no personality will dim your inner glow. If forced to share, ensure you spend at least 20 minutes adjusting your settings while staring intensely at the front row to maintain dominance. Your lucky number, 1. The only position on the festival poster that you consider acceptable. If your name isn't at the top and in the largest font, the universe is clearly out of alignment. Virgo, your ruling planet Mercury is currently transiting your house of micro-adjustments, and it's clashing hard with the reckless energy of Aries season. This week, you will feel a physical, agonizing itch to reorganize the entire rehearsal room's power distribution because the cable crossover looks messy. You are the only person who notices the singer is 4 cents flat on the high notes, and the stars suggest that correcting them mid-verse will lead to a passionate discussion you didn't schedule. Your discipline is unmatched, but your ability to just jam is currently at a statistical 0. In the digital realm, your obsession with file naming is reaching a fever pitch. You will refuse to listen to a mixdown if it isn't labeled with the date, the bitrate, and the humidity level of the studio at the time of export. The universe is telling you to trust the process, but we both know the process is only as good as your latest firmware update. Helpful collaborators this week, Capricorn, the rhythm CEO. They are the only sign that won't roll their eyes when you suggest a 20-minute meeting to discuss the font size on the back of the tour shirts. Together, you will achieve a level of professionalism that This is just a code word for I forgot my tuner and I'm going to wing it. Their blurry, unstructured aura will give you a literal migraine by the second chorus. The warning beware of the guest solo. Someone, likely an Aries, will suggest bringing a friend of the band up on stage to jam during your most technical song. The stars warn that this unplanned variable will shatter your carefully constructed stage plot and likely result in someone stepping on your perfectly calibrated patch cables. Veto this immediately. Your stage is a closed system. Your lucky number 0.001. The exact percentage of total harmonic distortion you are convinced you can hear in the bridge, even though everyone else thinks the track sounds fine. Libra. Libra. The sun is currently transiting Aries, sitting in direct opposition to your sign. This week, your house of aesthetic compromise is under heavy fire. The band is arguing about whether to open the set with a heavy breakdown or an acoustic intro. And as usual, everyone is looking at you to break the tie. You will spend 4 days agonizing over this, internally weighing the sonic dynamics against the visual impact of the stage lighting. The stars suggest you will eventually just suggest a medley, so nobody's feelings get hurt, completely ignoring the fact that a medley is a terrible idea. In your personal life, your desperate need for harmony is causing a bottleneck in production. You will refuse to approve the final design for the tour poster because the kerning on the letter M feels a little aggressive. Your bandmates just want to send it to the printer, but you are paralyzed by the fear that a slightly off-center logo will ruin the band's entire aura. Helpful collaborators this week. Leo, the decisive diva. They have enough ego for both of you, which is fantastic, because they will make all the hard artistic choices while you just make sure they look good executing them. You are the velvet glove to their iron fist. Avoid collaborating with Aries, the impulsive ram. Their just do it right now attitude feels like blunt force trauma to your delicate sensibilities. They want to start the set with a wall of feedback. You want a choreographed bow. If you share a stage with them this week, the sheer lack of symmetry will give you hives. The warning beware of the final mix approval. Your producer will send over the master track and ask the dreaded question, is this good to go? The stars warn that this question will trigger a 72-hour existential crisis. Is the snare too loud? Is it too quiet? Is music even real? Do not attempt to answer this yourself. Simply find the nearest audio engineer, ask them what they think, and immediately adopt their opinion as your own to avoid conflict. Your lucky number 50/50, the exact split of the publishing royalties you will offer the guy who only played tambourine on one track, purely to avoid an awkward conversation in the green room. Scorpio. Scorpio, your ruling planet Pluto is currently lurking in your house of unspoken resentment. With the chaotic fire of Aries season burning all around you, your deep, watery energy is practically at a boiling point. This week, you will feel a divine, dark urge to turn off all the lights in the rehearsal room and force the band to play strictly by the glow of your pedalboard LEDs. Your intensity is peaking. When you look at your bandmates during a bridge, they don't see creative passion. They see a silent judgment of their rhythmic inaccuracies. In your personal life, your aura is strictly do not disturb. You will spend 3 days in a dark room with the curtains drawn, trying to find the exact frequency that induces is not an acceptable substitute for saying pizza. Helpful collaborators. This week, Cancer, the emotional enabler. They are the only sign who won't ask you why your new song is 12 minutes long and about the heat death of the universe. They'll just grab their instrument and start weeping in harmony with you. It's the dark, cathartic jam session you've been craving. Avoid collaborating with Leo, the golden retriever. Their desperate need for positivity, crowd participation, and stage banter is a direct insult to your entire aesthetic. If they try to get the audience to clap along to your dirge, the planetary alignment suggests you will legally be allowed to unplug their amp mid-set. The warning: beware of the upbeat cover song. A well-meaning bandmate will suggest throwing in a fun, high-energy pop cover to lighten the mood of the set list. The stars warn that this is an ambush on your artistic integrity. If you are forced to play it, ensure you run your signal through an octave down fuzz pedal and play entirely behind the beat until they learn their lesson. Your lucky number: 0. The exact amount of stage lighting you require to perform your art. If the venue turns on a spotlight, hiss at it. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, your ruling planet Jupiter is currently amplifying the chaotic fire of Aries season, crashing violently into your house of unrealistic tour routing. This week, your reckless optimism is going to get the entire band in trouble. You will pitch a weekend run that involves driving 14 hours in the wrong direction for a show that pays entirely in exposure and drink tickets. Your bandmates will beg for mercy, but you will simply tell them that the road is the ultimate teacher. On stage, your untethered energy is a liability. You will get so caught up in the vibe that you will completely forget the bridge to your most popular song, opting instead to jump off the kick drum and improvise a solo in a key that hasn't been invented yet. The stars demand you look at a set list at least once before Friday. Helpful collaborators this week: Aries, the hype man. They are the only ones impulsive enough to agree to your terrible logistical plans. Together, you will burn through a tank of gas, 3 sets of strings, and your entire merch budget before the sun even sets. It's a beautiful, fiery disaster. Avoid collaborating with Taurus, the anchored earth. Their need for a comfortable bed, regular mealtimes, and a rehearsal schedule will feel like a prison to your wild spirit. When you suggest driving through the night to catch a sunrise over a canyon, their heavy, realistic stare will completely ruin your vibe. Leave them at home. The warning: beware of the open mic night invite. You will see a flyer for a quiet acoustic open mic at a local coffee shop and decide this is the perfect venue to test out your new 14-minute progressive rock opera about the interstate highway system. The stars warn that the Sunday brunch crowd is not ready for your untethered genius. If you proceed, you will be politely asked to leave after accidentally knocking over an espresso machine with your guitar neck. Your lucky number: 432. The exact number of miles you are willing to drive completely out of your way just to buy a specific brand of vintage guitar polish that you probably won't even use. Capricorn. Capricorn, your ruling planet Saturn, is currently conducting a hostile takeover of your creative output, and the reckless fire of Aries season is making your eye twitch. This week, your tolerance for jamming is at an all-time low. If a bandmate says, "Let's just see where the song goes," estate. Helpful collaborators this week: Virgo, the quality control inspector. They are the only ones who will appreciate your color-coded set lists and your 40-item pack-out checklist. Together, you will achieve a level of cold, calculated efficiency that will terrify the venue staff. Avoid collaborating with Sagittarius, the chaos agent. They will suggest completely rewriting the bridge to your lead single during a high-stakes industry showcase. Their absolute lack of a 5-year plan will trigger a Saturn-sized migraine that no amount of expensive espresso can fix. The warning: beware of the spontaneous jam session. Someone in the band will declare that you all just need to turn off your minds and play from the heart. The stars warn that this unstructured waste of rented rehearsal time will cause your soul to wither. Time is money, Capricorn. If they start playing a 12-bar blues progression, you have the universe's permission to slowly pack up your gear, maintaining unbroken eye contact to assert dominance. Your lucky number: 10. The exact number of minutes the band is allowed to be late before you begin issuing formal written warnings on official band letterhead. Aquarius, your ruling planet Uranus is currently sending corrupted data packets into your house of obscure DAWs. The aggressive fire of Aries season is making you downright rebellious. This week, you will feel a celestial calling to abandon traditional instruments entirely and record an entire EP using only the sounds of kitchen appliances processed through a granular delay pedal. Your bandmates will beg for a simple 4/4 drum beat, but your revolutionary spirit will insist that the world is finally ready for a dance track in 11/8 time. In the rehearsal room, your aura is technologically superior and emotionally detached. You will spend the first 2 hours of practice troubleshooting a software update for a piece of gear that only you know how to use, ignoring the fact that the bassist is literally asleep on the couch. Your social media presence will thrive this week, mostly because you've decided to stop posting music and start posting encrypted QR codes that lead to a black screen. Helpful collaborators this week: Gemini, the idea generator. They are the only sign with a short enough attention span to keep up with your rapid pivots between post-punk and experimental cyberfolk. Together, you will start 7 albums, finish absolutely nothing, and feel incredibly creatively fulfilled. Avoid collaborating with Capricorn, the career realist. They will ask you how you plan to monetize a field recording of a microwave beeper. Their obsession with standard tuning and target demographics is a direct threat to your avant-garde equilibrium. If they show you a spreadsheet, unplug their router. The warning: beware of the analog purist. You will encounter an older musician, likely a Taurus, who will corner you and deliver a 20-minute lecture on why vacuum tubes have more soul than your laptop. The stars warn that engaging in this debate will drain your life force. Do not argue. Simply smile, nod, and quietly airdrop them a virus that corrupts their vintage amp modeling software. Your lucky number: 404. Because whenever the rest of the band tries to understand your creative vision, that is the exact hair code their brains produce. Pisces, your ruling planet Neptune is currently drowning in the fiery heat of Aries season, creating a massive steam cloud in your house of emotional This week, you will find it physically impossible to play a song with a discernible ending. You will feel a divine, celestial urge to buy a fourth delay pedal, so you can stack them until your guitar sounds like a choir of angels crying in a shipwreck. Your bandmates will ask for a solid rhythm, but you will simply close your eyes and sway, convinced that the vibe is a more accurate measure of time than a metronome. In your personal life, your sensitivity is at an all-time high. You will miss a rehearsal because you were moved to tears by a specific preset on a synth you haven't used since 2019. The stars suggest that telling your manager you can't make the gig because the energy of the venue feels too sharp is a valid spiritual excuse, even if it means you lose your deposit. Helpful collaborators. This week, Scorpio, the brooding soulmate. They are the only sign that won't ask you to turn the reverb down or play in time. You will spend 6 hours in a dark basement making noises that sound like a haunted submarine, and you will both leave feeling deeply healed and slightly damp. Avoid collaborating with Sagittarius, the blunt reality check. They will tell you, while you are in the middle of a spiritual musical peak, that your song doesn't have a hook and needs to be 5 minutes shorter. Their fiery, loud energy will evaporate your watery soul instantly. Keep your shimmering demos away from their rough hands. The warning: beware of the metronome. A well-meaning drummer or producer will try to force you to play along to a click track to tighten up the arrangement. The stars warn that this mechanical ticking is a direct assault on your fluid, oceanic nature. If forced to use one, ensure you turn it down so low you can't hear it, and then claim you were playing with the rubato of the universe. Your lucky number, 16. The exact number of times you will ask the sound guy for more shimmer in your monitors before the first song is even over. Listen up, you beautiful, distorted souls. The celestial sound check is over, and the house lights are about to go down. As we navigate the high-gain chaos of this Aries new year, remember, the universe is currently running at 100% volume with no limiter. Whether you're a fire sign trying to set your stage on fire, or a water sign drowning in a sea of digital delay, the message for this week is the same. Watch your input levels. Aries season is the cosmic equivalent of a cranked preamp. It's exciting, it's aggressive, and it's full of character. But if you push it too hard, you're going to blow a fuse in your personal life. Don't fire your drummer just because the moon is in a mood. Don't spend your tour gas money on a boutique fuzz pedal that sounds exactly like the one you already have. And for the love of all that is holy, check your tuning before you step into the light. The stars have given you the signal. It's up to you to make sure it's not just noise. I am Cassian Vex. The void is calling and my coffee is cold. Strike the subscribe sigil to keep your karma in phase, and follow the transmission on Spotify so you never miss a beat. Stay celestial, stay loud, and for heaven's sake,